played a great 200 mils in an impressive series of 183 patients.
Using the Gilling technique.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this is not the presentation.
So just give me
Presentation number 4.
Number 4, please.
How can I go? Okay. Good morning. This is Tallè, Dr. Tallè. I'm from. I work at BPH Private Hospital in Ancona, the city of Ancona, and thanks a lot for having me. And this study is a review of our series on we are a high volume center for HoLEP, and so this is a review of our series of very large benign prostatic hyperplasia. When I say very large, I mean more than 200 milliliter of total prostate volume. And we know that this kind of cases, this kind of prostate, are always challenging for surgeon and for patients. So we wanted to review our series and to assess the feasibility and the safety of the procedure in such prostates. We have 183 HoLEPs procedures, patients, and this is our instrumentation. The machinery is a whole laser, high power, 120 watts, and the Morcellino is a Versacat that works up to 7 grams per minute. And we use, as I said before, we use most of the cases free lobe techniques according as it was originally described by Dr. Gilling. These are the results we had. The mean prostate volume was 218, and 30% of the patients had a catheter, was catheter dependent. The operative time overall is 163 minutes, with the enucleation time 73, and prostillation 90 minutes. Hospitalization 2.2 days, catheter duration 2.6 days. We had, I'd say, a decent hemoglobin loss. We had just only 6 blood transfusion, and 3 cases we went for a cystotomy, and 5 cases for a delayed morcellation. A long-term follow-up, we have a gain on Qmax, so plus 14 milliliter per second, and the result stays stable. EPSS less 16 point, and PSA less than 70%. The retreatment rate is 7%, and when I say retreatment, mostly I mean renal stricture and bladder neck sclerosis. And urinary incontinence, the transient urinary incontinence that disappear within 3 months is about 30%. So in conclusion, what we have learned from our review is that HoLEP, this data support the feasibility of HoLEP regardless the size of the prostate. But of course, such cases should be approached by a trained surgeon and by well-experienced surgeon. Okay, thank you very much.
Congratulations for your very interesting presentation. I think your data shows something that is really, really important. That is that we are always speaking about the lesion. And here, the most important thing is not the lesion, it's the morcellator. Your time doing the enucleation is 73 minutes, but your morcellator time is 90.
Yeah, it's longer.
And for me, the limit of this technique is the morcellator.
Yeah, I totally agree, yes.
And sometimes you have done the enucleation and then you have the adenoma in the bladder and you don't have the space, and it's with the bladder wall, and it's very difficult to see, and so I think we should try to push more the companies to work in the morcellator. I don't know if you agree, but my feeling.
I totally agree, because the main problem is the morcellation. So we had some cases of delayed morcellation, so we put the catheter, the irrigation, then go back in 2 days because the adenoma gets softer. And we have some cases of cystotomy because the main problem and the longer time of the operation is the morcellation.
That strategy that we don't like to do none of that, because we have to take again the patient to the ward. It's really nice because the adenoma is dry and it's really easy to do the morcellation.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
What morcellator do you use?
Now I moved to Jena Multicat, and I'm really happy with it. I find it the faster and the better. I used to work with the Versacat of Lumenis, and
I don't know if they still make Versacat, do they? still,
Which one do you use now?
Parada.
Right.
I think most people move to that.
Last question.
Mark Singh from Mason in the UK. Very impressive. I think if we looked at one of the other sessions earlier, QMAX increases of 14 on average is pretty high compared with all the other technologies. The comment I wanted to make was you're using a 3-lobe technique. We've shown that actually if you use an en-bloc technique, then as the prostates get bigger, your enucleation times in terms of grams per minute becomes more efficient, regardless of prostate size. So en-bloc is now our preferred for these very, very large prostates. I'd be interested to know what Peter Gilling, what do you do for these very large prostates? What's your technique?
Yeah, I favour an en-bloc single piece, but sometimes if I'm teaching residents big prostates, it's safer to do a 3-lobe technique anatomically for them, and then they can stop at any point.
I mean, the other observation is that these very large prostates don't tend to have a very big middle lobe. So even a 2-lobe often can be just as good as a 3-lobe.
Yeah, I see the point. I think that 2-lobe and M-lock is faster. You have a faster nucleation. But at the same time, the 3-lobe was the original technique, and I think it's safer because you have more landmarks. So it's in a way probably it's a matter of attitude. I mean, of your habit, what your habit is. But yeah.
I think an en-bloc also speeds up the morcellation.
Probably yes. Could be yes.
Thank you very much. Team from poster 6, Dr. Ramos and team presenting on a total of